in all of your games. If you're going 2-1, you're probably getting second place. So you don't want to go to that wild card. You want to get out in first so that you have an easy road to the semifinals. So every single game is very important, including this one. And up against another Korean team, definitely going to not be a super easy match.
And that's the first Vox ban of the tournament so far, and it comes as no surprise that it's against Druid. That is, he is ridiculous on that hero.
He is Mr. Vox, essentially.
But he can play anything, so not really that big of a deal. They're actually going to ban out the Sky again. We talked about Impale being a Sky main. Fortress will be the first pick for the second game of the day, just like it was in game number 1. But the Arden's still available, so less of a pinch on the roam pool.
For sure.
In this particular game. So Arden likely to be the selection here for Invincible Armada. They won't be too bothered by the first pick Fortress. But where do you go from here for Druid? Is he going to go for something like a Ringo?
Ringo's still available. Blackfeather still available.
Scarf.
They are going to pick up, Scarf, as you said. I don't remember him playing too much Scarf, but I don't really remember him playing too much Blackfeather either.
He doesn't really play melee laners.
Yeah, he's more of that Crystal Power Vox or the Sky. That's what we're really used to seeing out of Druid, but I mean, it's been a whole season. We'll see what he's got in store for us today. We are going to see our first Scarf here.
That's right. Scarf comes in alongside Glaive, so some early skirmish pressure in the jungle with the Glaive and Fortress combination. Good pursuit, but Invincible Armada will be looking to kind of play for the late game here. They've got some great team fighting and just the AoE. I mean, the Arden Adagio combo, what's so great about that is that if you set up the gauntlet, you could chain it into the Adagio ultimate too, because they can't get out without getting stunned, and then they'll chain stun straight into the Adagio combo, and that could be really brutal in the late game for Invincible Armada.
And also, if you remember, this is the composition in the jungle that was used all the time for teams that wanted to support their laner. So Arden Alliance, the first place team, Invincible Armada, the second place team from Season 2. Both of these teams were very known for using both Arden and Adagio to buff up their laner, to support him, give the shields from the Vanguard, just give all these heals, right, and just let Druid do his job. So I think that's what they've agreed on here. I suppose Mango's going to try to take a little bit of a backseat to Druid.
And nobody really knows what Invincible Armada looks like right now because they haven't been playing professionally since the last VIPL. They did not compete in VGL Korea. And I was talking to some of the members of Infamous about this, and they said, well, it's really hard to prepare against them right now because there is no data. They switched members. We don't really know what they're going to look like right now. So the first hints will be given today as Mango takes over that jungle role.
Yeah, I suppose Ace is not too happy to be playing them first here.
I would not be. That's not very good, especially because Ace has now an entire season of VGL VODs and results to research for Invincible Armada. So they're definitely coming in with a scouting advantage and most likely a talent advantage as well. But we do have an Ace Tasa fan in the audience right now.
Yeah, toss on that Glaive tonight, looking to have him make some plays. We have in our notes that he says he's the #1 Taka in the world. His name is Tasa, right? Pretty close, but Taka and Glaive, pretty similar heroes where you're jumping into the fight, you're trying to get into that back line, you're trying to make picks and lay down that damage.
So, no action early here. Druid not having too much of a problem. Of course, getting that farm. We often joke that Druid seems to invent creeps the farm on the map, considering that it's not strange to see him eclipse his lane opponent by 50, 100 CS by the time the game concludes. And as you can see, he's also still the only player to play with a stylus for some reason. I would think that would be pretty good. I haven't gotten a stylus yet myself for the game, but I really want one.
I mean, because we both play on the tablet, right? We're not necessarily phone players, but I feel like if you're a phone player, you want that accuracy, right? But still, nobody does it. We talk about this all the time with Druid. The only guy to use that stylus. And in this game so far, you can see kind of what Invincible Armada, like a similar style, right? Where it's just they give up some of their jungle. They play very passively. They're playing for the late game. don't get excited if you're an Ace fan just yet, because Invincible Armada's like, yeah, okay, just do that, whatever. We're waiting for Druid at 15 minutes when he's going to have like 30, 40 more creeps than your laner, and he just comes in and wrecks your team.
Well, also, Mango's doing a great job of trading the back camps right now. He snuck in there and was able to take some of those camps right away. He's on the run right now, and it looks like may not be getting out of this one alive, but an early death, not that big of a deal for him. He's going to get stunned into the wall there. Looks like First Blood will be going over to members of Ace. Tasa will pick that up. But the fact that he actually got some of those back camps is actually, interestingly, in Vainglory, far more important than giving up that first kill, because he's staying approximately even when it comes to CS. And that is very impactful, because this Glaive Fortress combo is so devastating in the early game that as long as you can match them in farm and stay relevant, you're going to have a much better time. That's why we see Invincible Armada just trying to dodge them out right now. They want to get into the late game where their big stuns and their big AoE is going to come through.
For sure. I mean, in this game right now in Vainglory, it's basically getting those early kills just gets you space on the map to do more, right? To get more farm. But if there's no farm left over, if Mango keeps taking it, well then, he's doing a good job, as you were mentioning. This is the replay of when he did get caught. He's being chased in real time at the same time. It looks like he will be saved here by his team.
Yeah, he does actually manage to run around the jungle right now. And actually, that Fortress is going to get low and get killed by the damage over time coming in from Adagio. Couldn't quite get out right there. And Ace a little bit slow on their reaction to that. The lane was pushed up, as we can see from Invincible Armada. So Ardent and we do see the Black Feather coming right on through and able just to collapse early on. As you can see, just the damage over time there from Adagio, going to finish it off, Gift of Fire. So
seems like at the same time, Impale is getting pretty deep in the jungle of Invincible Armada. Druid is going to get that kill.
I don't even know why he was back there. He's trying to take the back camps again. But that was a reaction to the fact that they lost the kill and the members of Invincible Armada were so far forward. But Blackfeather does manage to find the Scarf, and everything's staying even right now, which is really in Invincible Armada's favor.
Yeah, and even look at this giant wave for Druid. So he is going to once again create minions. It's really just that lane, kind of the way it works out, in terms of pushing and where those dead minions are going. Is your team picking them up, or are they just running into the turret? Druid's always there to pick them up nearly every single time.
The setup was just so perfect there because they had the lane pushed up. They were able to react and get that kill. And then not only that, but while the lane was reversing and pushing back towards Invincible Armada, they catch Scarf out, get a kill there, and then they get the big minion wave without really losing anything at all. So hard to imagine how it could have gone better. They're just playing the map and the pressure game extremely well right now.
Yeah, I mean, the most important thing is picking up those creeps, and so far it looks like Invincible Armada's kind of figured out how to tailor, the wave pushing, as you were saying, to their advantage. And the other teams haven't figured out the same exact way. You can already see our Blackfeather on Druid, or Druid on Blackfeather is already 10 CS ahead of Impale in this game.
6 minutes too, and he hasn't really been taking very many of those jungle camps just yet. As you can see, Mango pretty much staying neck and neck with Tasa. And Invincible Armada just heading down for a little bit of vision clearing right now. Druid will trigger some of these scout traps. Flare heading down, and they are going to wrap around. Looks like members of Ace not looking to pick a fight.
Interesting build from Druid. I mean,
I was surprised too.
Yeah, this is generally what you want on this kind of melee assassin carry type of hero. But early travel boots, I think that is the second one for the boots, and also the Shiver Steel coming in here for the Serpent's Mask. He's really just trying to stick to his opponents and be very, very mobile.
Well, you have to have the Shiver Steel on the Black Feather. And we'll see. We see Cruel and Black Feather build like this pretty frequently because the base damage is good enough, at least in the early game. But the most important part is you get those stacks on the enemy so you can actually trigger them and get the big burst of damage in. Invincible Armada setting up once again. looking to clear out scout traps and use this time to potentially take a gold miner. They are going to attempt to burst it down right here. Flare goes through into the tri-brush, and there is the ultimate. They're just
Oh, and it gets stolen by Scarf.
wow. With the Spitfire Goop combo, he takes it. And they invested so much into that. But Invincible Armada, they played that outright. They dropped both the Adagio and the Arden ults to try and convince them not to come in for the steal. But what a clutch take there by Impale.
That is so, so huge. Giving him enough money to pick up his Shatterglass already. And even though Invincible Armada stays even slightly ahead in that gold, due to the farm. Definitely a nice pickup for Ace.
They're going to come in. Nice afterburn there, knocking Wine back into the team. He's still alive, though, thanks to the heals coming in. And there's Druid. There's the Dragon's Breath. Finally picks it up, as it does speed up the members of Ace so they can clean up the kill onto Arden. Fountain of Renewal, not quite enough there.
Yeah,
they
used everything. Gift of Fire. You know, all the heals they had in the game available to them. Even though he does get knocked back here, he does almost survive.
Yeah, was trying to heal up too, but look at that. Remember, the Dragon's Breath does speed up your allies too, who are coming in front of you. And they are able to snag that kill. And it was nice for Ace. They knew the ultimates were still down from Arden and Adagio, and that's one of the problems with Invincible Armada's composition is they have to fight around those ultimates. And those are very long cooldowns. We got a little bit too aggressive, but no matter. Everything's still pretty much even here.
You see Druid picking up a defensive item now, a light shield. No big offensive items just yet. Just wants to make sure he stays alive enough to get that farm early on. I have no doubt that's what's going on in his mind. Playing very passive around this turret, knowing that every member of Ace here is in the lane. Looks like Invincible Armada is also going to group up here. Try to support Druid, make sure he can get that farm.
I'm a bit surprised by the Shatterglass start on Impale. That seems pretty risky, considering especially against Druid, who can get into the backline with the Rose offensive and then stick to you with the Shiver Steel, combined with and we see Impale actually going to get stunned right there as he hits the edge of the wall of the gauntlet, and he is going to die. There comes the Adagio ultimate, but Blackfeather is going to go down as Nata and Tasa able to single him out. Mango getting low, and he's going to be the next to fall. Wine on the run now, trying to avoid that ace. Flare into the brush. Vanguard will give him enough speed potentially to get out. Yes, he does. Manages to make it back into the safety of his turret. Druid there dying, doesn't use his boots, doesn't actually activate his Shiver Steel either.
Looks like he kind of dived a little bit too far. You know, he rose offensive in to secure the kill, but he ate a turret shot, and then as he rose offensive out as well, taking a lot of damage from the enemy team. So not sure if that was worth it overall. Druid going to miss some farm in the lane. Just overall, not so much what I'm used to seeing from Invincible Armada. Going for that dive there. I suppose they had a nice little pick onto Scarf, but Druid definitely going deep for that kill.
And the Shiver Steel on Glaive too. That's very unusual for a Glaive. And as we can see, look at the damage that's going to be coming in to start this fight. Impale's reflex block doesn't actually save him from the gauntlet stun. It does take a lot of damage there from Tasa.
He eventually goes down. Wine does deny the ace, as we've seen. We've seen a lot of glaives so far in this tournament. I feel like nearly every single game. I have to take another look at those stats, but lots of glaive play.
Tasa, though, just very interesting. We almost never see the glaive start with that Shiver Steel and delaying the actual damage. But when we were talking about the Shatterglass, that actually does provide the peel necessary. So what Ace is doing is, instead of building Frostburn first, they're going for the pure Crystal Power onto Scarf for higher damage, and then substituting the damage on Glaive for some more peel from Glaive, which is quite interesting, actually. We haven't seen this particular combination of itemization before.
Yeah, but it shows that Ace, just a very smart team in terms of going for this. We don't see it very, very often, but let's see what Invincible Armada wants to do in the response here. We do see an infusion pickup for Druid. Perhaps they do want to go for a fight sometime soon before Scarf gets out of control. See Scarf going for that Aegis pickup after the Shatter Glass. Just wants to be a little bit more tanky in general. Lots of that crystal damage coming out of that team composition of Invincible Armada.
Yeah, everything's slowed down a little bit at this point. No further attempts at the gold miner, even though it is full right now. And this may be it, however. Invincible Armada going to try again. Are they going to drop both their ultimates this time once more? There's the ultimate coming in from Fortress. Arden going to drop the gauntlet. They're trying to collapse onto Tassa. May have him, but the Dragon's Breath is going to come through. It's going to do a lot of damage. Gold Pail collected. It's actually taken by Glaive in the middle of all of that, but are they going to get aced as a result? Impale, there's no peel left for him, and Nata will be hunted down. And there's the ace. So at least Invincible Armada can respond with a turret, but yet again the steal of the objective. That was well played there by Tassa, who is kind of the hero in this game for Ace.
Yeah, for sure. I'd love to see a replay of that fight, actually, because I feel like Invincible Armada knew what was going on. They saw Ace coming in with the flare, and they're like, okay, let them dive in. You see a really nice gauntlet comes down from Wine, but Druid is just right onto Glaive. He's not even on that gold mine. He's just trying to take out the team of Ace right now.
But Glaive also used the Blood Song right there to actually burst down and finish off the gold miner. So actually had the presence of mind to come back in with his team. As soon as he realized that the gauntlet has been dropped and two members of his team were trapped there and he was getting collapsed on, he immediately just makes a beeline over, and look at Druid's mechanics. It's ridiculous.
That's what it takes to be a Druid, guys. So there you go. Watch that replay and just try to mimic that. We did have two members of Ace going down while we were taking a look at that replay. And it looks like that's going to be another turret here. It looks like Impale's going to go for the Dragon's Breath, though.
Wow, nearly gets a couple of kills right there. Low on energy, though, so he can't exactly follow up. Vanguard used to propel the two members who are low from Invincible Armada, at least into the brush, so they get a safe recall. Nice ult there, though, from Impale. Doesn't save the turret, but nearly does, and nearly picks up two in the process.
Yeah, that's a cool Arden skin. I like how OGN likes to zoom in on the incredible artwork we got in this game of Vainglory. Really cool graphics we got going on.
Still amazes me that this is a mobile game.
Yeah. Doesn't feel that way at all.
Nope.
But that's why it's all the better, because it is mobile and you can take it with you.
All right, so Druid now really, this is where he's starting to pull ahead in CS, about 25 up.
And still, Mango's not even that far away. Looks like Warhorn is going to be burned here as Invincible Armada is looking for a pick. But, you know, Glaive is ahead by like 9 CS right now into Mango, but Mango's already got 2.
They're just trying to force this. They want to fight right now. Both ults are back up, Adagio and Arden right now. There we go. Gauntlet's going to come down. Nata focused right now. Impale on the opposite side, but Druid gets on top of him with that Rose offensive, and everybody's in the back line. Impale is getting low. Impale is going to be the first to fall. Tassa now going to be focused down. Nice Blood Song, though. He might be able to pick up a couple. 3 members in the AoE, and he's actually going to pull it off. Whoa, so close. Afterburn knocks him back, but Druid able to put down the damage just before. Oh, so close.
Tassa, we were talking about how this guy is the hero of this team. He's going 1v3 at times with that AoE damage on the Glaive. That was really crazy. That was so close to just wiping the enemy team by himself.
Yeah. Wow. So getting everybody in there, and in spite of the fact that Impale died early on in that fight, still manages to hold them off. And we see the gauntlet going down here to start this one off.
Yeah, to be honest, not the best. I mean, it forces Scarf back and to use that reflex block. And Druid on that mobile champion. But here we go. Like, look at this. Just so much damage coming out of that Glaive. And he's only got a Sorrow Blade for that damage.
Wow, just barely a kill there coming in. There's some members of Gangstars right there in the audience. Watching the games today.
Yeah.
Checking out their opponents in Group A in our first game of the day.
Doing a bit of studying. I see Rex got that laptop over there. Probably also listening to the cast. Here we go again, another fight.
Coming in, Impale again caught out. He's not in the back line this time, but there are no ultimates, remember, for Invincible Armada. This may not be the fight they actually want to take. Druid getting low is going to try and dash out on point, and he's going to try and finish off Nata here and at least make the trade. And it's not quite going to work. We talked about some of those ults being crucial, and they were not dropped in that team fight. They are back up now.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting that Invincible Armada still, survives as 1-2 without using any of those ultimates. It looks like Scarf wasn't able to lay down his either, but again, Invincible Armada groups up all three of them together in that ball around Glaive, just allowing him to blood song, twisted stroke, just cleave, and just taking all this damage. I feel like the key in the next few fights is that they just need to spread out a bit. Jump onto Scarf, try to grab him, but don't be like Amaterasu Gaming last time where it's like you're all in, Just try to spread out a bit and have some better positioning in the next team fights.
Well, it's tough, though, because Invincible Armada, they have to set up those ults so well. They need to get kind of two people inside the gauntlet and one out, and then the idea is Druid goes outside and picks off the person while everybody else is contained, but they haven't been able to make that work. That last fight, we are going to see it again, though. Gauntlet goes down, but three people on the inside right now. There's a lot of blocking going on in the middle of this. There we go, though. A huge Adagio ultimate to finish that one off. The reflex blocks not going to work as soon as that ability comes down, and that's going to be the ace. Finally, Invincible Armada, and that is the Arden Adagio combo. You can use those reflex blocks. You can use that Crucible if you're not, but as long as you wait long enough, you're going to be able to land the Adagio ult right thereafter and clean up the fight. Wine is left to punch the Kraken in the face.
They just left him alone as they push the turret here. Probably the better choice. You secure a turret,
Definitely the better choice because you can continue pushing right here. And they're just delaying it.
Yeah, they're waiting until, the rest of the members here of Invincible Armada can come back.
Well, they're waiting for another wave. So they got the turret, and they couldn't join immediately. So they're going to go ahead and take the minion mine right now alongside the Kraken, get a shop off, and then join the Kraken. So really nice timing there. Great delay from Invincible Armada.
That's really cool. You don't see a lot of other teams doing that out here just yet. But Invincible Armada, really nice timing. You were talking about the wave, the buy, the minion mine. This is the fight where they just... all the damage is immediately onto Scarf. They burn him down so quickly. Adagio ultimate comes down. Really nice damage output, but it's really just, I was saying they should not group up against Tasa, but it was actually just fine. They have enough survivability with the composition they have, and they just have way too much damage too because Mango is also very nicely farmed, and Scarf a little bit too close to the team fight there, I'd have to say.
And here we come, the push now in Tasa already low, and this Kraken has taken virtually no damage. There's the gauntlet thrown once again. Tasa on the outside looking in as Invincible Armada just focuses down the turrets, and there you go, a nice Adagio ultimate, double stun. And it doesn't really matter if Invincible Armada die here or not because that Kraken is still at almost complete health. Oh, it'll be an ace in the end, but how fast can this Scarf actually take down the Kraken? He does have his perk for that % damage, and he may be able to save the game for the moment with the Goop and Spitfire burn. But that Vein Crystal is taking a slamming here from the Kraken. One more auto will be it. Nope, two.
There he goes. That's a lot of damage onto that Vein Crystal already. Half health. And that really just comes on the back again of the timing of the Kraken, right? Send two people to take out the turret first to give that Kraken push a little bit more oomph. You get that minion mine to give your minions more, just
well, it's also the gold.
Stronger, right?
You take down the turret, so you get more gold to spend. Then you take down the minion mine, so you get more gold to spend. And then you come back.
And a stronger push.
Shop with all that money you have. Then you have the strong push with the minion mine and the Kraken. Just really well played.
Wine, kind of the brains of the operation, everybody likes to say. Really nice guy, really smart as well. Now has moved into that roam position. He was never really known as like the most amazing mechanical player, but definitely a very, very solid player. And you can tell just, his drafting even coming into this one, they definitely had a really nice idea with this composition.
Right now, what Invincible Armada can do if they are going to try and make a hard push and take out the crystal. They have 4 turrets remaining, so they're not in a lot of danger even if they do get aced again of the game ending immediately, but they may take the safer approach and simply wait for the next Kraken here. They are actually surprisingly behind in gold in this game, despite having an incredible lead when it comes to pressure.
Yeah, maybe just the comeback mechanics getting wiped there at the end, and of course the Kraken gold going over to the team of Ace. Ace definitely does catch up here, essentially even at this point in the game at 22 minutes and a half. Invincible Armada very famous for having long drawn-out games. They like their late game compositions, as we're seeing right here.
Flares going down, and there we see the Warhorn already going in, but the gauntlet has been thrown. Everybody just in a giant melee right now. Impale is going to be that first target, and he will be the first to fall, and everybody just getting beaten down right now, shut down. And they are going to look for the last kill onto Tasa. They move forward, and they pick it up, the Ace yet again. They will not need that Kraken to finish this game. Nice attempt at an engage, but immediate reaction with the Adagio and Arden ultimates to make sure that Ace can't get the engage they're looking for.
Invincible Armada's looking scary. This is a really strong first game against another really strong team. Ace put on a great performance tonight, but Invincible Armada, the better team, gonna take down the Vein Crystal and get the win.
That's right, and Ace definitely putting up more of a fight as a new team here in the VIPL than perhaps many thought they would. Certainly a candidate here for second place in the group, depending on what happens in their following matches. If they can take down Infamous, who currently has that win. But Invincible Armada stays strong, and they get that victory in spite of a few, I suppose, dangerous team fights against Tasa's Glaive, where he was able to hit a lot of blood songs and deal just a ridiculous amount of damage.
Yeah, Tasa definitely the star player. I think that's him in the middle there for Ace, but Invincible Armada, another very late game composition. I love what they're doing with the Adagio Arden. It's still viable, right? Going with that Black Feather. By the end of the game, the Black Feather had the Aegis, the metal jacket even, and a couple of offensive items. Was full build Black Feather, which is one of the scariest threats in the late game.
Yeah, some of these fights right here, exactly going the way of Invincible Armada in the mid game, and a couple of these gold miners really helped Ace stay in this one. Those steals were pretty clutch.
See another pick here. This is a crazy amount of damage that comes out of Tasa. Gets 2 kills. Druid eventually just barely gets the kill. But by this point, Invincible Armada is so farmed. They're just right up in the face of Glaive. They don't even care. But Scarf is forced in there by the Arden ult, and he can't get out. So they just immediately just tap him down. Mechanics are right there. They kill him very, very fast, and then they just go 3-on-2 from there.
Yeah, and this is the last fight of the game. Of course, the Vein Crystal turret's already destroyed, so as soon as they take out Tasa for the Ace, pursuing him all the way through, turns around, CFC maybe get the kill onto Mango, doesn't quite get it, and that'll be the end of the game and the first win of the group stage for Invincible Armada. Your man of the match will be Druid, of course.
Yeah, I mean, no surprise here. 13 kills, 3 deaths, 5 assists. I have to say both Mango and Wine played really, really nice games too, but Druid, just the mechanics on that Black Feather. After that one fight where he dived on the turret and just barely died, after that he was really, really solid, just pristine all the way through.
Lower CS than normal, but he is playing a melee hero, and 13 kills, quite high actually for him. Invincible Armada, usually the team that's more strategic, taking the right fights rather than racking up kills, but we're going to take a look and see what Druid has to say, and G-Clef here will be translating the interview. Take it away.
Thank you, Monty and others. Of course, we have from Invincible Armada, we have Druid as the man of the match today. Congratulations on your first match. And you're on camera and you're tapping so hard today. How do you feel of the win today? First of all, we try to play passive and we try to know what they were trying to do, and we were trying to get the team together from the first. And in the middle of the game, we lost the gold mine twice in the middle, and we were trying to get that gold lead with that, but it didn't happen. But later on, we pulled off a very good team fight and we won the game. And you played Black Feather today. And it looks super strong whenever you play today.
네, 맞아요.
오늘 어떤 이유에서 흑깃을 가져가셨나요?
What was the reason you picked Black Feather?
시즌, 2시즌, 3시즌 이렇게 출전하면서
Well, I've been here for all seasons,
처음으로 쓴 거거든요.
but this is the first weapon hero I've used.
8레벨이 넘어가면 딜링
I've used lots of CP heroes, but I think Black Feather has lots of shield and the damage, the burst, and it can keep on dealing and harassing the enemy at the same time. So I think that's one of the biggest strengths. And you're very famous for your farming through entire game. But that didn't happen quite a lot today. What was the reason? Well, there are lots of patches like the gold mine and the minion mines. And I tried to join the team for team fights even more. But instead, you picked up 13 kills, 3 deaths, 5 assists. From the first game, you recorded a very good KDA. Do you think it's gonna continue like this?
스카이를 잡으면 20킬까지는 가능하지.
Well, I think I can get 20 kills with Sky. I think I'm even better with Sky.
Why'd you ban him?
I don't
then?
think the enemy is gonna let him play Sky though.
Well, his team's not going to let him play Sky either.
Yeah. And the last words for the season 3. Let's hear your last words coming into this season. I know there are lots of new teams, and even the new teams look very strong this time. But we'll try our best to not fall behind, and we'll do our best for the later game. Thank you very much. Okay, that was it for Druid from Invincible Armada, and let's go back to the desk.
Thank you, G-Club. So Druid there, coming in with his first weapon power hero. We were surprised to see him play Black Feather. That's not a hero we typically associate with him, but he is adapting to that meta, dialing back on the farm, dialing up on the team fighting. And it will be Team Phoenix versus Hack in our final game of the night in Group C, North America versus Korea.